Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Niall the River. I don't know how to do intros. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. And welcome to my Pikes Peak Shootout series. Right now, we're going to be getting our baseline time in the NA Mazda Miata, the perfect beginner track day car. Tire temps are dropping like a rock, so figure let's go. And we will explain, excuse me, explain kind of the rules and regulations of this shootout that I'm going to be doing as we climb the mountain. So, as you can see, we started kind of farther back than the start gate. That's because even though the hot lap spawns you at the gate, technically the actual hill climb starts from farther back. So we are going to roll back to the edge of the pavement for the exact same spot for each car. Make it nice and fair for them. Just so you can get a rolling start and be kind of more accurate to how the hill climb actually is. We are also... So, as far as setups go, to make things fair, we're going to use the base default setups, at least as much as possible. I know I have driven some of these cars and put some of my, setups on. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they just spawn in with default setups. But the only thing we are going to change is tires, and we're going to make sure that we have the softest tire option available on. So this car in particular, who knows, gave it two options, gave it street 90s tires or street tires. I had no idea which one was supposed to be softer and stickier. So we just went with the regular street tires, because you would assume that like a modern street tire is going to have more grip than a 90s street tire. Just kind of going from there. As far as going off track goes and invalidating lap times. So if you only go 4 off, keep going. Race isn't over, even though it'll technically be invalid according to Assetto Corsa. This app that I'm using, Sidekick, it will keep recording the time and it will at least show us, and it will, you can kind of timestamp it when we cross the finish line. And at least see exactly where, kind of where we stand. I will be making tables for and kind of results for each car, and so we're gonna have a couple different categories. We're gonna have the overall time, which obviously, because this is the first running, this is going to be the fastest for a solid one video. Since it's our baseline. And then, so we're going to have the overall, we're going to have, and then we're going to just do the standard Pikes Peak hill climb categories, just with some tweaks as to what goes in them. So we're going to have open wheel, kind of speaks for itself as far as what open wheel cars are. This can be your Formula cars, Indy cars, any other open wheel car that I deem necessary. Open wheel race cars, so we're not going to count like Ariel Adams or like Caterhams aren't technically open wheel. We are also going to run Unlimited. Unlimited is going to be like for our prototypes, our NASCARs, DTM, where they're kind of like a purpose-built race car. They're not really modified cars, like they're not really like modified street cars. They're kind of just their own bespoke car. That's going to be the Unlimited category. Gonna have Pikes Peak Open, which is basically going to be like GT cars and touring cars that aren't bespoke chassis. And because that's kind of how what Pikes Peak Open is it's modified, you know, heavily modified street cars. And then finally, time attack. I'm going to call it time attack slash per street, because that's going to be more of like genuine time attack cars. I'll test out some drift cars on like actual tracks, see if they're kind of worthy of going up here, as well as just general street cars, supercars, hypercars, this Mazda, stuff like that. Pikes Peak, well, Unlimited's also gonna have the benefit of like the weird cars. So like I've got some very strange cars that can go in Unlimited. Yeah, so those are gonna be the categories. I'm gonna update them for every video. Basically display probably like top 5, as well as wherever the car sits if it's not in the top 5. Just kind of showcase what position it's in and time and whatnot. Maybe like the cars around it. We'll figure that out as we go along. Again, I've never really made a YouTube series like this before where I'm talking, so it's kind of new. But yeah. So, and the whole reason why sorry, Miata. The entire reason why I wanted to make this video is I love Pikes Peak. If you've come to the channel because of my actual kind of flyby videos, you've seen that I've gone to Pikes Peak 4 times now, in 2018, 2021, 2022, and then this year, 2023. And I've kind of fell in love with it in 2018. I'd never been before, and we got to see the IDR set the all-time fastest time of a 7-minute 57-second, I believe, on some change. Yeah, it's kind of been in love with it ever since. I think the cars are just incredible. You know, the idea of building a car purely to go as fast as you can up one mountain is just kind of funny to me, you know? Because, like, the time attack guys, like Global Time Attack, like, some of them come to Pikes Peak, but a lot of them don't, which I do find a little bit too bad. That guy who's been winning all the time in the Corvette, I'd love to see what he could do. But Pikes Peak is also a dangerous event. There's high risk, and compared to not a lot of reward as far as I know. It's mostly just risk. Slap is. So this is actually my 4th time trying to record this. The first time I didn't have the Sidekick app, and I got an invalid time, so I didn't know what time it really was once I deleted it. The second time, it also didn't record my microphone audio, so I had to change from OBS Studio to Streamlabs OBS, because I don't know how to set up OBS Studio apparently. And then on the last run, I got about halfway up and my Discord was just exploding with notifications, so I had to go and mute all that and just restart here. So I do have a little bit of practice driving this car. I'm trying to beat it. So the previous time, which we're not going to count because there's no video footage and obviously picture, it didn't happen. My previous best time was a 13:21. Hopefully I can get under 13. I don't know if I can. One thing I am going to have to change, I think, is fuel load. I don't know how much. Some of the mod cars have weird fuel levels, so I'm going to turn off fuel burn, but I will keep on the tire temp stuff because that is genuinely a thing. You know, just how well these base setups can work their tires. Not great through this upper section, if I'm honest. This is where I'm hoping I can get a little bit better throughout the course of this series. When I was first initially thinking of recording this about a year ago, I would reset, so I wouldn't do like the one lap things, and so I was starting to get out of the lower sections. I have minimal practice in this upper section, and a couple of these turns coming up catch me out. Specifically this next one, I never really know. I think I'm actually going slower. I don't think I'm going to break that 13:21. So when we do actually have to watch out, you probably saw those little orange poles on the inside of that turn there. We do actually have to watch out for those. Those are a solid, immovable object, and they will ruin your race. So that is something we do actually have to look out for and try and be careful about. One last hairpin to go. Like I said, not going to get under 13, but let's see if we can at least get around 13:21. And the way that we've finished these off, there's no parking lot like they have for the actual race. So for funsies, 13:16.9, we just launch it off the mountain. Because eventually, it will reset us at the bottom. So I actually did improve my time a little bit there. 5 seconds off. Because it was a 13:21.921 was my previous time. So baseline, 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 because this should be recording now. 13:16.94. That's, yes, 941. So I'm not entirely certain that Sidekick can generate this last one, because it was 921 before, so it might be to the nearest hundredth instead of the nearest thousandth. We'll just have to see where it goes from there. Anyways, thank you for watching this initial baseline video. Ignore that. It's late. And yeah, we will I'll see you around. join us for the next one. We'll get some more interesting cars going. See ya.